Okay, so we're back with our first 7th edition battle report.
Yikes.
I'm playing Orks. Cleary, what are you doing?
I'm playing Chaos Space Marines.
Pretty sweet. Of the Nurgle variety, I would assume.
Yeah, there's mostly Nurgle.
Cool. I'm doing Fluff Orks. They're clan Fluff. For forging narratives.
Is the narrative shitty with inheritance?
Yeah. Well, at least we got a cool table. So yeah, we'll be back with our armies and the explanation of terrain.
Hey, so this is my 1500 point Nurgle list. Starting up from up here, we have my Chaos Lord with Power Fist Burning Brand, my Sorcerer with Terminator Armor, no mark, so you can just take pure telepathy powers, and his Spell Familiar. We have 2 5-man Plague Marine squads with Melt-A-Gun and Combi Melta Power Fist on Sergeant. And further back we have 2 5-man Plague Marine squads with just Plasma Guns. I have my newly painted Vindicator here. 20-man Combat Cultist squad with Mark of Khorne. 20-man Shooting Cultist squad with Mark of Nurgle, and each has like 2 Flamers, 2 Heavy Sluggers, and just Hell Brute with Heavy Flamer there. And my Warlord trait is we choose them, and it's the Warlord and 3 non-vehicle units get Infiltrate.
Okay, so we got my Orks, starting at the front there. Got a Mega Armor War Boss, and he's got the Shiny Shooter, the Lucky Sticks, and the Thinking Cap, which lets him take 2 Warlord traits. 2 traits I chose were Immovable Object, which gives him Fearless and it will not die, and the same one that Ski Mask Mohawk took, because we're inventive people. And then I've also got here, I got Magnok Grotsnick. They're going with the 4 Mega Knobs, who all have Combi Scorches, and they're in a battle wagon with a Kill Cannon, extra armor, and reinforced ram, and I think that ramp thing there. Okay, then I've got 2 units of buggies. The first one's just buggies with twin-link rocket launches. Second one, one's a Scorcher, and then one's a buggy with twin-link rocket launcher. Got 9 Ard Boys, the 10th guy's the Knob. They got the heavy armor, Knob's got Power Claw, Boss Pull. They're in a truck with reinforced ram and the ramp there. Then I've got 2 squads of normal boys with rocket launchers, 10 apiece. I've got 2 units of Killicans here and here. 2 Killicans each with Grotzukas. And then I've got 3 Defcopters with twin link rockets. And last but certainly not least, I've got a unit of mech guns, as they're called now, Lobas in this case, which I've given 3 ammo runs to, and I also put a mech in with them for 20 points to babysit them, because you can no longer take a run third, because whoever wrote the Orc Codex doesn't really like orcs. So anyway, yeah, 1500 points. Pretty sweet. Okay, so as good decent people, we talk about the terrain before we start rolling dice. So where to begin? I guess I'll start with this giant orc fort. With custom or homebrew terrain, you kind of need to be fairly specific. So we're playing a lot of this as impassable. However, there are places you can get in. Here, for example, totally cool if you want to take it difficult and hop in there with a larger base model like a Dreadnought or something. However, some of the smaller areas are only really cool for 40 mils. We're pretty strict about that. It makes maneuvering kind of a mini game in itself. So there's places over here again where Dreadnought could fit past difficult. Here's a bit too tight, and there's a bit too tight, so only 40 mils, 28 mils, stuff like that. But yeah, and then of course here kind of operates a little bit like a ruin. You can get up if you roll 3, yada yada yada. You can hop down from either side. You just obviously can't climb up from those sides, so a little particular with the path you have to take. Here we got a wreck. The wrecks, we play them as if they're actual wrecks, so that'd be like a wrecked Lehman Russ with the appropriate armor values, so you can actually target them, destroy them, remove them. Now that creatures are gone, generally you're just removing them. These big piles of wrecked Land Raider here, we are playing as area terrain with a 5+ save. Don't usually do area terrain, but seeing as almost all the rules for terrain are basically forced area terrain anyway, we're going to give it a try. Low cover here is 5, that is the orc stuff. The river itself is difficult terrain, but provides like no cover whatsoever. It will still count as being in terrain if you get assaulted with 3 units inside it. The big abutments here are basically impassable terrain. all you really can't do is phase through it. We kind of treat it as ruins. You can still assault up, yada yada yada. If there's no room to get up, as long as you roll high enough, you can do your assault. Interestingly, we're going to play these with something we call gravity. So getting down, you don't take it difficult. Getting up, you do. Also, if you're assaulting down, it doesn't count as assaulting through terrain. The thought would be you're higher up, kicking people in the face. Over here, we got a ruin. We're not doing the whole base magic horse shit, because if you're just touching that base and getting a cover save, it's kind of stupid. So you have to be at least within the ruin itself to get your cover save, and we pretty much go line of sight instead of doing area terrain. There is one place you can melt through this wall, and that's the door right there, but again, only if you could fit, so a big dreadnought's likely not going to go through there. These, again, we're playing them just like those. Difficult going up, not difficult going down, and again, if you get any kind of LOS blockage with these guys, it's going to be 5. This is just difficult terrain, it doesn't really count as area terrain. The forest, of which there's one there and one all the way over here, are being played as area terrain, again 5+. The difference is, again, we're a bit stricter with the path things need to take, so a tank or a big unit can't just fit and end in there. We don't really do hypothetical positions, so in real life you can knock the tree over. In this game, unfortunately you can't, you have to go around unless you're really small. And, oh yeah, the church, we're basically just playing similar to the ruin because it's fairly intact, so it's going to be a 4+, I guess. It's impassable, you can't go through it. If you're hopping over the low cover, you're going to take it difficult. Pretty standard shit. And the statues, of course, and as always, are not the special statues.
I don't think those exist anymore.
Well, that's good. It's one less piece of crap. So yeah, basically that's our terrain. We'll be back after deployment and all that stuff. Okay, so deployment is done. It's hammer and anvil, so short table edge to short table edge. Starting over here, I've got my Labas featuring mech. Hiding in area terrain. It's 10 boys, again hiding behind low cover. Kilo cans, you know, keep them safe. 2 buggies with rockets. Another 10 boys chilling there. And then over here, got some more kilo cans. And then we rolled infiltrate. I won it. So my battle wagon infiltrated. Clarence placed something, and I subsequently also infiltrated with my truck. So, yeah, still heavily debating whether I'm going to go first or not.
You're going first.
Shut up. Of course I'm going first. And then we're going to look at Clarence's deployment. And then, yeah, I'll see if I'm going to go first or not. In reserve, I've got buggy with 20 rocket and Scorcha. Be outflanking. And I got 3 Death Copters with twin rockets who will also be outflanking. And I will strip the mention, it's night fight.
Alright, so this is my deployment zone. For sure I got my 20 melee corn cultists with flamers. Got a 5-man with plasma gun. The shooting ones with heavy stubbers, I think they're called. And working down over here, I got my Hell Brute. 5 more plate marines with plasma gun, the Vindicator. And then to counter his infiltrating, I had my sorcerer with triple telepathy and invisibility right here, and my lord and the other squad there. And both of those infiltrating squads had the melt guns, so pretty pleased with how that worked out. Anyway, see you at the top of turn 1. So it is the end of Orks turn 1. I did indeed decide to go first because I was always going to. Where to start? Over yonder. Cans moved 6 through the difficult river there and then ran another some odd 1 inches. Pretty awesome. He got immobilized because he was touching the river there and he had to move, so that sucks. His other homie left him behind, moved up, fired at that unit, failing to do any damage. The boys moved and ran up over there, trying to get into the fort to grab that objective. Over here, the boys tried to move through difficult, got a 1-inch roll, wasn't great, then they ran 6, so that made up for it, thankfully. Still in the river. These kill cans moved up and then also ran again, not getting too far. The infiltrating battle wagon moved 6 and fired on them. And then he moved his extra 6 in the movement shooting phase, just move up there, so he's gone basically 18. Yeah, so really nothing done. The Labas kind of kicked the bucket, didn't hit anything, so not a great start, but at least I'm where I want to be. We'll see you at the end of Nurgle turn 1. Hey, so it's the end of Nurgle turn 1, and So turn, I moved up my melee guys a bit, moved my Plague Marines to secure the objective, and I caused a hull point on this guy here. Moved the cultists up, I was planning on shooting at the boys in there, but so guys were more pressing. I destroyed their truck, but piled out and used it as cover, and unfortunately I was only able to destroy it after shooting all my shots at it and my dreadnoughts could charge them afterwards. So that's going to be fun to deal with. Many units are shrouded from my sorcerer, so the cultist, the squad, them, and that.
It's worth pointing out too, they're actually not in combat, they're in intro.
Yeah. Yeah, because they infiltrated, so I couldn't charge on the first turn. And I did destroy their battle wagon too, but they're going to work their way up to me. And so that's pretty much it for this turn. There'll be a lot more action next turn, and see you guys at the end of Orc turn 2.
So it's the end of Orcs turn 2. Interesting. Neither of my reserves came in, so copters and the buggies are still lying in wait. Starting over here, cannons moved up 6, fired their Gratsukas, killing one of those Plague Marines near the objective, so hooray! This guy who's immobilized still is immobilized. Labas fired all the way over here, killing 4 cultists. Not too terrible. My war boss, who was joined to the Yard Boys, left and assaulted over there. I believe I killed your champion and 2 other Plague Marines. Now I'm just fighting your leader. These guys charged the Plague Marines, got their asses handed to them. The champion and my knob killed each other, and they fled like bitches. These guys ran up a little bit more, get on the objective. Over here, the guys who were in the battle wagon that got destroyed attempted to charge at the Plague Marines, but failed, rolling only 4 inches, which handily blocked any ability to assault here, because we play Rex as impassable, because we're sane. So yeah, that kind of fucked that up a little bit. These boys over here ran up just to get like all over that objective. That's pretty much it. So it's going okay, not great. We'll see at the end of your Nurgle turn 2.
Hey, so this is bottom of Chaos turn 2. Starting over here, just moved my Chaos Marines up a bit, shot at the cannon and stunned it. Moving down over here, I killed his buggy and tried to shoot at them, and I killed one of the cultists. His war boss killed my invisible Chaos Lord before even using his lucky stick rerolls. It was very fun, I was quite pleased. But to make up for that, I one-shotted his entire Knob squad with the Vindicator, which I still don't think is worth its points.
Got Grossneck as well.
Yeah, and a can, and then my Dreadnought failed to beat up his can in combat. But, I don't know, it's still pretty even. His reserves are still to come in. But, see you guys at the end of Orc turn 3.
So it's the end of Orcs turn 3. Where do we start? Over here, they shot Gratsukas and did nothing. These guys outflanked, came in and fired off a Scorcher, then subsequently a rocket. I think I killed 1 Plague Marine. Took a pot shot from under here with a rocket. Didn't do anything. These guys did some shooting at the unit of Plague Marines that was there, didn't hurt them. Over here, these guys ran up just to get the objective that's under there. Labas over here fired. What did they shoot at again? Oh, these guys over here didn't do shit. Scattered too wide. The copters, as you can see over there, came in outflank and shot the side and rear armor of that Vindicator. And I caused the hull point and stun it. Over here, his Hellbrute with his 1 attack punched me in the face and killed me. I charged with my war boss into his unit of Plague Marines with the Sorcerer and killed, what, 3 Plague Marines? Cool. So that was about it. We'll see you at the end of Nurgle turn 3.
Hey, so it's Chaos turn 3, the end of it. Starting over here, I moved up and threw grenades and shot pistols at them and had to charge them to do a hull point and shake. Down here, my cultist charged in, my leader taking the challenge and dying. My sorcerer failed the leadership, but the cultist passed it, so the war boss is locked with them. My Chaos Marines panicked the jet bikes and then charged them after they fled, so they failed a leadership test, so they exploded. And I failed to charge the Ork boys here with my walker. So, still, again, very even, and we'll see at the end of Ork turn 4.
So it's the end of Ork turn 4, starting over here. Kill cans moved up, rolled a 6 for difficult, and shot at these gentlemen, and I killed one of them. But he had a plasma gun, so that's pretty sweet. These guys moved out of combat with them. Flamer couldn't shoot, missile shot, didn't do shit. Over here, finished the combat with the cultists. They ran, and I kind of chased after them while keeping my eye on the sorcerer. These guys shot the sorcerer, attempted to charge, rolling a whopping 2 inches for the charge, and then he did like 3 or 4 inches. That was rough. Over here, tried to shoot my missile at Mr. Hellbrute from there, didn't do anything. So then these guys over here fired their missile at him, and again didn't do shit. And then Lorenzo Labas over here fired way yonder over here, killing a whopping 2 cultists. So, yeah. That's the end of Orks. We'll see you at the end of Nurgle turn 4.
Okay, so this is the bottom of Chaos Space Marine turn 4. And starting over here, I finally killed the stupid buggies with my Chaos Space Marines and cultists with flamers. So, over here, these guys failed to rally and just ran another 5 inches backwards. As you can see, the war boss is still alive because my Vindicator scattered, so that should be fun. But I sent his last lone Ardboy fleeing in combat and managed to wall off him from my objective and my Vindicator with my invisible Pregnant Squad. And over here I cleaned out some Orks on his objective, so that's pretty nice. Anyway, see you guys at the bottom of Ork turn 5.
So it's the end of Ork turn 5, and it's so-so. I did the Labas over on these cats here, and they did 6, 7 wounds, I think. 7. Then the Gratsugas opened up and did, I think, 3 or 4. They passed their leadership, however. Going on over here, shot my shooter at them, didn't do anything, charged them, killed 2, even though they were invisible. Those rerolls from the magic stick are pretty dirty. My guy who was running kind of ran through the gauntlet here. Now he's running right past the Hellbrute, so that'll be funny. This guy who can see the Hellbrute managed to take a shot at him, but didn't do anything. And these guys back here are still on the objective. So I still have this objective, still have this objective. I've not lost control of that one. May have this one, but they have objective secured. And there's still one over there. So yeah, that's what's going on right now. We'll see you at the end of Nurgle turn 5.
Okay, so it's bottom of Chaos turn 5, and sadly not the end of the game. I'm going to start over here. I moved on up and threw a crack grenade at that Death Dread, or Kill Cannon, and I knocked its last hull point off and killed it. Ran my cultists up into objective securing. These guys rallied and just consolidated on back normally. And my big kaboom shot at this and just immobilized it, but it's still pretty good. And the Hellbrute killed off his fleeing orc just in case he pulled bullshit. Now, when I went to roll, and the war boss cleaned up the last few Marines. Now, when I went to roll the game, having always chirped my opponent on his rolling tendencies, which often results in dice going off the table, bouncing off terrain, off the table, bouncing off models, scatter dice. I put a bit of force into my roll, and it went way off the table and rolled a 2, which would have ended it for the game. And tempting fate, I picked up the same dice off the floor and rolled it again, and it rolled a 3. So that's why the game is not over. Alright, see you guys at the end of Ork turn 6.
So it's the end of Orks turn 6. Interesting things. Over here, Labas fired at them, killing further. I can't remember how many.
Actually, they fired at them.
Oh yeah, fired at them, scattered into them, killing I think 2 or 3.
Yeah.
The Gratsukas fired. Funny story. Kill, I think, one of his guys. The other shot fucking scatters back and destroys me because I only had 1 hull point left and clearly rolled a 6 pen. So that was kind of funny. Totally should have been able to jink. Joking. Yeah, so they're still near the objective, so I'm kind of boned for here. They're possibly able to do something to come back at me. I did go over there and punch his Vindicator in the face for wiping out a third of my army.
Proving that it is a waste of points.
Oh yeah, totally. So yeah, I'm on that objective. His Hellbrute's still here. I'm still holding these two. Homie's still immobilized. So yeah, that's what's going on. We'll see you at the end of Nurgle turn 6.
So it's the end of Nurgle turn 6 and the game as well. Just starting over here. Moved up to secure that with my Plague Marines because those cultists continued running way over there. These cultists came around 6 and then ran 3 to put themselves on my objective with objective secured. And my Hellbrute just didn't move. And that was all I did this turn, and I just hoped to roll the 3 or 3 or less, and I did. So I won. It was 10 victory points for me to his 7, because he had 2 objectives in Warlord and Linebreaker, and I had 3 for Split. Yeah, sorry, 8. It was it.
Yeah.
10 to 8. So I was persuaded to name this as my MVP. It killed the Battle Wagon, Kilcan, Grotsnick and Mega Knobs, and mobilized another can over the course of the game. Did it do anything else? I think that's it. So yeah, it was alright. Still debatable about its 120 points, but
shut up.
yeah. So yeah, no, he was my MVP. So this was my epic fail, but only because he got like assassinated by the war boss on like turn 2. Yeah, it's my Chaos Lord. Crabblesworth like went right for him with his war boss just so he couldn't Burning Brand anything, and I just didn't really get any chance to contribute.
Alright, so this is my epic fail. It's one of the Mega Knobs, but Lair Battle Wagon obviously got blown up, and then they were subsequently evaporated by Cleary's new Vindicators. So yeah, epic fail. That was 180 worth of Mega Knobs and 160 worth of Grotsnick, and then another 100 some odd for the Battle Wagons. So yeah, rough time. Alright, so here's my MVP war boss. He took a wound at one point, but he had it will not die for one of his warlord traits, so he got that back. And then he just proceeded to walk around the board and just fuck up one squad after another, and then killing that Vindicator to get vengeance was just a narrative well forged.
Yeah, he killed like 2 Plague Marines worth of guys.
Yeah.
And like and squads and my Lord and Vindicator. So tried to get the Sorcerer.
And he's not that many points. This guy's 140 points. So yay. MVP.
So what did you think about that game?
I thought that was interesting. It was close. It was 8 to 10, right?
8 to 10. Not
bad. If I was going to change anything on my list, I think I would get more copters. They're about the same.
Buggies?
Yeah, because the same price of the buggy. They can still outflank. Jink, and more jink. Plus combat prowess.
Also, like, their toughness 5, so...
Yep,
strength 10
2
to
wounds. I was happy with most shit. The cannons actually did okay. Like, they're never, like, combat machines, but they're
especially
definitely...
not now.
No, but I mean, like, psychology, you didn't want to be up in them, especially with the units that couldn't hurt them, so that was something. Lobas let me down a bit, but they still did what they do.
Yeah, they, like, took down my squishy backfield.
Yeah, that helped a lot. Not enough to get that one objective, but it literally all came down to that, like whether they ran or not. Would you change if you changed list?
Well, I intended to say the Vindicator just to get a reaction, but I don't know. I like the list, but I'm not used to like the squishy people being able to run away because I usually use zombies instead of cultists. So, but you need typhus to do that. It's a pretty big investment, and
double-edged sword too.
Yeah,
like it's stuck.
But I don't know. There's not too many things. Maybe like I can't really split up the cultists because I already have 6 troop choices.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just maybe try to be more aware of like where your like war boss was.
I think you could maybe cut down one of the squads. It's not that many points, obviously, but it might get you something else.
I actually thought your like war boss would go for my tank, the like Vindicator, because like on turn 2, like you could have killed it before it blew up your knobs. and that would have let them like get in as well. And like my Chaos Lord's good, but it's just like you can't take the Power Fist like on anyone. So like that might have.
It was a shame you didn't get to use the Burning Brand that much because that thing
Yeah.
melts units.
Yeah, but again, there was all 2+ armor down on his side of the area.
And that's really it. Like with the Orc decks, there's gonna be a lot of Mega Knobs, methinks, because Jesus Christ.
Their release of the plastic Mega Knob kit totally does not coincide with.
The $76 kit, which you know, it's only $60 for 5 Terminators, so I'm totally in league.
Remember when it was like $45 for 5 Terminators?
I do.
$50 at most.
I'm old. So I don't know. I thought the game was interesting. I liked that we both had armies that were
like melee.
Yeah, like there was shooting, but it wasn't the end all be all. We both had maybe like one big gun. But yeah, it was all about maneuver and then assault and then maneuver and assault.
Bullshit amount of 6s on my invisible units. Like
that dead shiny shooter was sick.
It was pretty fun.
For 5 points or whatever it is. Like that's
shots.
6 twiddling shots that like could hit my own.
Yeah, that you rolled only 5s and 6s for.
Yeah. Though okay, we have to talk about the lucky stick.
Yeah.
The lucky stick is just like the auto take. I think it'll be on every.
How can you not take it?
I abused that so heartily, and then when I actually had a wound, like that warlord trait I had, where I got to regenerate with it and not die, that was crazy.
Yeah, plus it gives you weapons, your like +1 weapon skill to your unit.
Yeah,
so
I even forgot.
That's it's like the Wog Banner for knobs, but like you can bring it to anyone.
It's very true. Doesn't stack with Wag Banner, but
no, but like you don't have to take knobs to get the +1 weapon skill.
In terms of not just talking about the game, but in our experiences of 7th, we're liking it. I think everyone kind of knows it was just an update of 6th. It wasn't really
it's
much
post 5th is like what I'm going to call it.
I don't know, it's a bit of a cash grab, I think that's evident, but
especially taking the terrain rules right out, that was fun.
Oh, that was foul. Yeah. It was just like, by the way, we make terrain. That was the thing, the reason we always show the terrain discussion is like all this terrain's custom. When you point at something that's like, what, 2 feet by 2 feet, you might want more than one terrain type to define that.
It's ruins!
Yeah. There's ruins! But yeah, that's... This whole everything being area terrain but taking away area terrain just seems like the most baffling idea. I think the only thing we're not, at least I'm not liking, is objective secured dedicated transports. It just doesn't make a lick of sense with a lot of things, and it's so fucking abusable.
Well, I also thought you didn't like challenge shenanigans in combat.
I don't, but at least there's spillover. Like at least there's that.
Oh, I was talking about the the out of engagement range to avoid the challenge.
I did not care for that, but that's nothing particularly new, I guess. What are your thoughts on 7th, Clarence?
There's really not too much change, like really from 6th. They changed like some things, like minutely. That's
Give me a like and a dislike.
Okay, so
up and down.
Things I like about 7th, they did try to fix the more like outrageous things from 6th, like MC blobs, like as much allying, but then they like at the same time they also
completely dissolving.
Yeah, the same thing with the psychic powers. They tried to fix them, and then like they created another outrageous problem, like
oh god.
But they.
We're not really playing 7th. You'll notice we had like an FOC and like I guess that's one combined armed detachment. Whatever the fuck they want.
My actual complaint about 7th, like specifically showcasing the Orc Codex, is how they've demolished the Codex basically to like shoehorn in Unbound and Formations and Lords of War and Super Heavies.
Ghazi being a Lord of War is Jervis saying like, "Oh no, fuck you, you'll play it my way." That's what it feels like because
apparently Logan, Grimnar, and like another few Space Wolf characters are going to become Lords of War too.
Like, I guess the silver lining is that they didn't go like full retard on him and make him like 900 points and like, you know.
You can still use him in a just as he used to be used, but that's like the problem. Why is he a Lord of War?
But like the fact that he can't lead your army is kind of baffling, I guess.
Well, lead your army if you're playing like
a formation or something.
Like, he can't lead your army if you're still, like, old and, like, decrepit and, like that thing called Force Org.
Force Org. Yeah, I love how only GW could make throwing rules out the window complicated. Like, only they could do that, because you're looking at, like...
Don't use any rules to, like, organize your army.
It took me, like, a week to wrap my head around it, and my favorite was everyone going on and, like, oh, well, no one will play Unbound, don't worry about it.
You don't need to play Unbound.
Yeah, I would look them in the eye. I would look them in the eye and be like, okay, Jeffrey, I don't know, look at me. Like, have you read Battleforged yet? Well, I thought Battleforged was just, like, all it was. I'm like... No, like look it up. Like it's like the same fucking thing.
It's
basically.
like you can use the Force organization, the battlefield roles is what they're called now.
Take whatever you want,
but you can also keep on taking it.
Oh god, yeah.
The reserve deployment. If you run out of space during deployment for your army, you can just make your deployment zone bigger.
That's the new trend, isn't it? They're tired of saying no. And they're fearful that every time you don't allow someone to do whatever the fuck they want, they might not buy something. So it's just like, how can we turn that no into a yes? Like, that's seriously what it feels like now. I mean, think of how dumb that is. You know knowingly as you're spacing shit out, you're like fucking yourself over for deployment to purposely just get a bigger deployment zone. You're doing everything like 2 inches apart. Yeah. Oh, where do I put my thing now?
The terrain stems, you just put the most massive impassable terrain things. You're like, oh, everything's impassable. Like,
we have to give them credit for that. They did one thing that's better, and quite unquestionably better, is putting objectives down beforehand. Yeah, it's so much more fair. Oh my god. There's still the problem with what's the Emperor's Will, because it's like you don't know what size they're telling you. They're telling you to put it in your deployment zone. Like, I don't know what that is.
Oh, yet, so. And then there's a couple like since like 5th or 6th ed, like
incongruities.
Just rules being in like completely the like wrong area, like for
shout out to Arbitorian for his amazing fucking it's like 5 pages that saved our lives for time. It's having to delve into the rulebook is fucked, so it's just so much greater to look down at that and be like, oh, we do this easy. And you're right, when you're looking at it, there's no order, so you're constantly like, well, when do I do that? Oh, I do that before that. Why? And even 6th was like that for the rulebook, I remember. What else to talk about? I don't know. It was a cool game. What did we usually talk about? We haven't done these in so long.
Yeah. Generally we talk about like our plan going into it and how it turned out, but
okay, well, your plan for your list, was there any real
it was pretty much just like standard Nurgle list. Like you could use the cultists as like backfield or counter charge, while like the Plague Marines did their thing, caused havoc.
I just wanted to get in early with the with infiltrate. And
the lack of invul on orcs now.
Why
is there no invulnerable save?
I get this feeling like whoever was tasked with writing the orc book, which, as far as we know, they've axed most of the design team and they're just using the web people, because that's really how shit feels now, especially with just the simplicity of some things. But like ramshackle on trucks is a joke. I don't even know why that's there.
Yeah, mob rule came out around 4 or 5 times, and every time it was,
we got lucky though, because I just kept running as opposed to hitting myself. When you start hitting yourself, you're like, oh, it's easy, okay? It's like whether.
But you have less than 10 models, right? You could never.
Okay, I'm talking like mob. But I'm just saying, like, oh, okay, I'm doing whatever attacks, and now I have to randomize where they go. When you've got like 20 models and you have to randomize who's taking that fucking wound, everyone's just like, oh, whatever, I'll be a nice guy, pull this or pull that. But it's like, that's not random. If you're pulling from closer for assault or close to an objective, or you're going to be honest, I'll pull them from here or there, like, it's not random. I don't know. If you and your opponent don't care, it's just one of those things that, like, casually is not necessarily the end of the world. In a tournament, it matters.
But why would you ever play orcs in a tournament now?
I don't know. Maybe you have a lot of like copters and fucking
and mech guns
and dreadnoughts and anyway, I don't know what else to do. Any final comments, Clarence?
Yeah, that's about it, really. See what happens when I get my Demon Prince painted. That'll be fun.
Well, thank you for watching, and we're hoping to do these a couple times a month, if not 3 or 4. So expect more and more orcs, and more bitching about orcs, and more bitching about 7th, because we're deeply depressed and troubled people. See you next time.